All right, you've done it. You've been pre-approved. We've been dreaming, we've been shopping, and we found that property that is just right for you. I want to walk you through what it means to put an offer in Georgia and what my responsibility is. My true value comes in to you when I get to write that offer and negotiate on your behalf. My job is to protect your earnest money the entire transaction. So we have 3 points of negotiation when we put in or when we're working on buying a house. The first point of negotiation is writing the purchase offer. And so that's going to be, how much are we willing to buy the house for? Do we want the seller to provide any closing contributions? We get to choose the closing attorney if we'd like. When do we want to close? How much time are we giving the seller to review our offer? So there's a whole bunch of tools in my arsenal when it comes to negotiating the purchase offer. Now, once that offer is accepted, we have a binding contract. We are now under contract to purchase this house. You then put down earnest money. I am trying to protect your earnest money the entire time. We have a binding contract. You've put in your earnest money, and now we have time to inspect the property. You have chosen your home inspector, and they gave us, 35-page report of things going on with this house. We now negotiate repairs for this property. Some things might be no big deal to you and you can handle them. Other things may be deal breakers. So it's my job to work with the listing agent and negotiate repairs on the property. If the seller refuses to negotiate or doesn't come to the terms that we're comfortable with, we then have a right to walk away from that contract and protect your earnest money. You get that back in your pocket. Now, the third point of negotiation is going to be the appraisal. If you're getting a mortgage, the bank is going to order an appraisal that helps prove the value of that property. If for some reason the appraisal does not match our contract price, the seller can lower the price. That's the easiest thing to do for everybody. Seller lowers the price to what the appraisal says it is, and we just write an amendment to the contract that lowers the purchase price. But sometimes the sellers aren't willing to do that. Maybe if you really love this house, we might negotiate somewhere in the middle, bring a little more cash to the table if that's in your ability, right? Not everybody can bring more cash to the table. Thirdly, the seller can say, screw it, I'm not selling you this house. I'm going to put it back on the market. And then we can walk away from that contract with no penalty. I've again protected your earnest money. Now, the final point of protecting your earnest money, it's not a negotiation at all, but you are going through an underwriting process while we were, from contract to close. You're being underwritten by the mortgage company. If for some reason catch this though, at no fault of your own, are you denied a mortgage, your earnest money is protected back in your pocket and we can cancel the contract. And now I put that caveat in because if you go out and buy a car, take out a loan, do things that affect your credit or your purchasing ability, that is your fault and you will lose your earnest money. I'm sorry to be so serious about this, but it's a serious process. You're trying to borrow $500,000 and you go out and buy a new car without talking to your mortgage lender. You might not be able to close this loan and you lose your earnest money. It is out of my hands completely. But if at no fault of your own, you are denied the loan, you do receive your earnest money back. So those are our points of negotiation. It's my job to negotiate on your behalf, with your permission, of course, and to protect your earnest money. Now that we get the clear to close from the mortgage lender, we are on our way and you can do the happy dance with me because we're going to close on that house. I am so ready to help you. Be armed with information. Let's make this process as smooth as possible.